Good morning and welcome back to News and Views with myself, Salailo Makwidiri. Today we have a truly unique story, one that touches on resilience, freedom of expression, and solidarity. And joining us in a bit is Nabeel Khan. He's one of the first practitioners of parkour in South Africa. His journey from the rooftops to global activism has captured the attention of many. And parkour, often seen as an art of movement, has been more than just a sport for Nabeel. It has been a platform for self-expression, community, and most importantly, advocacy. But Nabeel's story is not only about athleticism, it's also about activism, as he's used his platform to voice solidarity with the people of Palestine. His journey through parkour and activism is one of courage and commitment. Today, Nabeel joins us to share his inspiring story and the way he's blending movement and activism for a cause close to all of our hearts. Nabeel, welcome to Salam Media. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate it.
Shukran, man. I really appreciate the introduction. And happy to take it away.
Definitely. I think first and foremost we can start with introduction to parkour. I mean, you're one of you're the pioneers of the sport here in South Africa. Can you tell us a bit about your initial introduction to parkour and what inspired you to pursue it in a country where it wasn't widely practiced at the time?
I would say I saw somebody do a move that I only thought was possible in the movies. And at the time, that was a bunch of random people. It was 3 or 4 people doing it in the country. And I saw it and immediately said, I want to do this. And so I was this youngest member of this said team of guys trying things out based on YouTube videos that were coming out of France and the rest of the world. And the sport had a name, and I fell in love with it.
And I mean, your family, your friends, what are people saying at that time? Because we don't know this thing. People are jumping on top of buildings and doing all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, you know how conservative South Africans can be sometimes. And, things that are new are generally not accepted as much.
Well, when it's things that look really cool, people are kind of accepting of it. The funny thing is, as you said it, these things jumping off buildings is that very description was used back then. Family, no doubt. What would any family member say to their child? Besides the usual, be careful, because I think when the image comes to mind of what it is we were doing, it's natural, I guess, to look at things in our societies and cultures and say, what the hell are you doing with your life?
What are you doing, man? Yeah. I think, what's been really interesting for me is you using parkour as a form of resistance. We know parkour is used as a form of physical expression, like any other sort of sport or any kind of art is, but you've used it as a platform for activism, particularly for the people of Palestine. How did you merge the two? Where did you see the connection between activism, particularly for Palestine, and parkour as this form of physical expression, which is very it's almost like hip hop and jazz back in the days. It's very abstract, and it's away from the norm. That intersection, where did it come about for you?
I mean, the intersection in itself was pretty much immediate. Solidarity with Palestine is something that we are all aware of, and those that are starting to become aware of is actually the ultimate thing in the world today, right? It's exposing so many double standards in the way we are and how we be in the world that is so repetitive, in the sense of most people wake up, go to work to put food on the table, rinse and repeat until the day they die. This is the world. And Palestinian solidarity, above the merit of why it should be Palestinian solidarity, if we were to just look at it a bit closer, how many people are actually aware of it, right? So awareness is a drive, and all these other mechanisms are important. But as an athlete, similar to why I joined parkour, this spoke to me as we say artists, but I believe artists are just people that connect back with themselves in a world that's really hard to do, right? And I'll just fast forward now. Is here we are, a bunch of guys that relate across the world on the sport of parkour. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are. Ultimately, you can relate with a fellow um, practitioner or artist. And as we see practitioners of this, youngsters, really children, in a war zone, finding an outlet, if that is even the right word or appropriate word, um, to try get their message and voice across. There was a couple of weeks ago, just leading up to this campaign. I mean, I've already been in touch with the guys there by nature of me relating. And it hit me because there was the World Parkour Championships happening in Tokyo a couple of weeks ago. And I'm sitting there, which is an event that we all follow, with the best athletes in the world going. And I saw Mahmoud, who I've been following in Gaza, practicing and expressing. He is legitimately a top contender in the world skill set in the discipline. Stuck in a war zone and a competition happening throughout the world where no one's thinking Palestine. It's just another trophy to be won. And so the connection was immediate. I said, this doesn't feel right, because our very brothers in sport are in need of our help. And the very nature, structure of the sport itself, the bodies and so on, no one's making this connection. It should be normal. It should be what the world is. How do we be more considerate to somebody else, especially first and foremostly on the things that connect us, and that, let alone being considerate to people that have differences from ourselves. And it's just it's a means to connect the idea and raise further awareness, and hopefully channel that awareness to Mahmoud's Instagram page, because right now they don't really need people clapping for them. They need money. They need support. And yes, our wonderful organizations around the planet that are humanitarian, sometimes there's this huge gap between getting aid in as an idea and the politics involved with it. And it's so easy to ignore the fact that somebody could just receive money in their hand or via Binance or whatever platforms they're using to get money through to the individual to buy food for their family and sustain themselves, let alone survive. And that work, I believe, lies with every individual. And so what is the part that we can each play, motivate, inspire, to click a button, spend 2 minutes and send some money?
That's it. Yeah. And I think, the conversation that we normally have around Palestinian solidarity circles is, in whatever space that you find yourself, try to use it to amplify the voice of the people of Palestine, and to make sure that their plight is known, to make sure that whatever space they're in, people understand that there are people that are literally in each and every day surviving a genocide. If you're in the media space like we are, this is a platform we're going to use. We're going to shout. We're going to tweet. We're going to have interviews with people from Palestine. If you are maybe in the photography industry, you're going to take pictures that signify that. But in your space, as an athlete, a parkour artist, how do you go about it? What do you do that is tangible, that can be seen and understood as this action is advocating for the people of Palestine?
Okay, so what I created in the campaign, which is called Backflip for Life, and the campaign is simply every single person, student of movement, not specifically parkour, and I included in the challenge on social media, and coordinated with Mahmoud to do a post, because he's got a large following of people around the world, to create a chain reaction similar to how they did for ALS with the Ice Bucket Challenge, except we're doing backflips. And so anyone that can do a backflip, it's a movement that connects everyone in the world. You can do it posted on social media, because who doesn't like watching a cool flip on social media?
Sure.
There's the awareness aspect and a strong call to action. Shout it from the rooftops. Send the guy some money. Because with that, hopefully you can get him out. If we can get him out, we can support him further. It's what we did as parkour athletes around the world when it was early days, is we'd crash on a friend's couch just so that we could be in a new environment to train and learn from other people. And similarly, what do we do with refugees? If that is the term, like, they didn't ask for this, right? And so I believe it's our collective social responsibility within our circles in any way that we can to provide support. Right now, it's money. Tomorrow, it may be plane tickets. The next day, it may be how do we get the guy set up in the world? And inshallah, and this is if he even survives it, right? Just by the way, I know we may have limited time.
Yeah.
Mahmoud actually sent me a message because I don't know if you're aware yesterday. I mean, you are aware, right?
Yeah.
There was the occupation bombed refugee camp in Khan Yunis yesterday, and I couldn't get a hold of Mahmoud throughout yesterday. And he messaged me about 30 minutes ago, and I've been chatting to him leading up to this interview. And he is okay. He is okay. He was there. He saw it. And, you know, as much as the translation between Arabic and English goes, he left me a message because I told him I'm going on air for his campaign, and I asked him if he would have anything to say to the listeners. And he does have something to say. So as we close the session, I'll continue down the questions. Or if you'd like me to say it now.
Yeah, please
I have a
go
message.
ahead. Go ahead,
And,
yeah.
and I want everybody listening, and if it is just between ourselves, to just hear the message. Through everything we've spoken about, the campaign and so on, Mahmoud's message to everyone right now, directly translated on Arabic, Google Translate, is, I want you to tell them we are dying here. And that's all I want you to tell them, brother.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah. So as much as we can all try to raise awareness, you know, we were in a chat that says this device is one of the best tools in the world today. And we can raise awareness and shout. Let's not just forget that it's just not another social media campaign. It's different. It's more. And this is the world that we're looking at moving forward. And how intentional can we be using the tools that we have, in the money, the opportunity, the resources, the intellect, the awareness, the time, the effort, to try be a bit more considerate, and even if somebody can't do a backflip. This was the whole point of the campaign anyway, because I'm very well aware that raising awareness in campaigns is towards ideas, 100%. This is specifically towards another human. And the other human that has another Instagram page, and the other human that also needs money, and the other human. And so through that, we can all be lost. And my attempt here is to try coordinate a single-minded focus to help one, to then help all. And try bring our minds back from the distractions that can happen, in solidarity on our side, and the fatigue, donor fatigue, and all these things that may be happening right now. All they want to tell us is, well, Mahmoud is saying is they die. So we may think we have problems, or we may have helped before, or we've given money already, or we've shared an Instagram post, and alhamdulillah for all of it. And let's just keep trying to be a little bit better. And even if it is £5, let's not ask too many questions, just try. And that's all we can control, right?
Definitely. And speaking of that, all that we can control on our side, those that want to contribute, those that want to play a part, how do they get hold of you? What are the handles? And how can they make a difference?
Okay, Mahmoud's name, for spelling reasons, right? He's on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Mine is easy, and I've got all the links to the campaigns in my bio. Anybody's free to send me a direct message and reach out to me in any means possible. You're welcome to share via the Salam Media page, if people reach out to your page to share my details. And whoever would like to contribute in any way, logistically. I mean, Mahmoud's cousin is in Egypt right now. There's a whole different level to this. So he's out, but there's still new struggles. And it's think of it as a family, right? Everybody is trying to and these are 22-year-old kids, by the way. Mahmoud is 23, Amir is 22, and they make it in the big world with large social media followings, and everybody seemingly at an arm's length. So whoever would like to contribute, just reach out via Islam Media, myself at MRNABY, at Mr. Nabi, that's my page. And Mahmoud directly on Instagram, he's Mahmoud Al Gharbawi. So yeah, the spelling we can leave in the links, etc. And by any means necessary, I'm always available and open because we're running this every moment as much as possible.
Definitely. And I think we're going to leave it on that note. It's been a pleasure chatting to you. I've been wanting to talk to you for such a long time after we met at that workshop. But yeah, I think a really, really wonderful campaign. And I'm pretty sure we'll be chatting in the not so distant future. Salam for now.
Looking forward to it. Wa alaikum salam, guys.
There we go. That was Nabeel Khan, one of the first parkour practitioners here in South Africa, and it's just giving us insight on how he's using his medium, how he's using his art, to make sure that the voices of the people of Palestine are amplified, and not just amplified, but they are assisted in a tangible way. There's a tangible, meaningful difference that you can make. So if you want to follow his campaign, make sure to head out to his Instagram page. Is at Mr. Nabi on Instagram. So that's the handle there. Yeah. I don't know. Just search it there. I think all of the information you want, it will pop up there. You can send him a DM or you can send us a DM, and we'll try and link you guys up. But we're going to leave it here for now. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, News and Views continues.